This is the Weather Extreme video for Sunday, December the 27th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and we have an interesting forecast ahead of us after a couple of dry days. So let's go ahead and get to the skycam images, and this is going to have a university theme. How about Montevallo? And we can certainly see some of those high clouds that will be filtering that sunshine today. Now, moving down to the southeast part of the state, how about Troy? And this is a great shot from the campus down there, and we look out over the water tower, and we can still see a few clouds down there as the sun is beginning to rise this morning. On our surface map, the storm system is in the Great Lakes and exiting out into Canada, but still causing a bit of problems across that area. We'll look at those watches and warnings in just a moment. In the upper atmosphere, that closed low is just a little bit to the northwest of Chicago, and it is gradually beginning to edge to the east, and that will help to keep us cold, and will that northwesterly flow behind that will actually reinforce our cold air on Monday. Speaking of cold, it is rather chilly. Look at those minus values in the north area of the Northern Rockies area. So very, very chilly, and of course a lot of snowpack up there across the north central part of the United States. I'd say a good 85% of the country is below freezing this morning, and we're sitting at values ranging from freezing down to about 25 over there at Gadsden. So it's a rather cold morning, frosty morning across central Alabama as we begin to get into the last week of 2009. A few showers along the Gulf Coast, northwest Florida and northern Florida. And those watches and warnings, we still have a number of winter weather advisories in effect for the area around Chicago and just to the southwest of them and off to their east, as well as it looks like some lake effect snows in New York and Pennsylvania. And then we still have some lingering advisories up into New England, especially into Maine. All right, this is the QPF projections. Our next storm system will be coming out of the northwest Gulf, and it looks like the bulk of the rain will be along the Louisiana and southeast Texas coast. But for us, it looks like on the order of about 1/2 to 1 inch is possible, and that actually looks pretty reasonable. Now, let's get on to the 06Z GFS model run, and here's our surface projection for midday today, noon, and you can see that it's going to be dry with still a little bit of snow occurring across the Great Lakes area. On Monday, the trough sharpens a little bit, but moves on to the east just a little bit. But look at that northwesterly flow, and of course, you know what that means. That means the 540 line and the colder air, boy, those sink down, the 540 line down around Birmingham at midday tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a chilly day as we stay below normal. Now, on Tuesday, here comes our next storm system. So Tuesday's going to be a transition day. We're going to see probably start off the day with some sunshine, but then in the afternoon, we're going to see clouds thickening up and increasing. And you can see that a little surface low begins to develop in the northwest Gulf of Mexico. That shortwave trough moves across and gets near the Mississippi River on Wednesday at midday, and that will bring an interesting situation for us with that little surface low on the Louisiana coast. And we'll probably start the day off with the possibility of some freezing rain or sleet, especially to the west, northwest, and north of Birmingham. And there's a look very quickly at the 850 millibar temperatures. Even though the 540 line was up into Tennessee, the cold air is down near the ground, and so looking at the 0-degree isotherm, and you can see that at 850, and so it looks like in the morning we may have some issues, but I suspect that the rain or the precipitation will change over to rain during the day. By Thursday, that little shortwave is off the mid-Atlantic coast, and we're about to get ready for the next one. Here comes another one out of the Four Corners area, and that one's beginning to take shape. But in the meantime, our little surface low is up off of the North Carolina coast, up near Cape Hatteras. By Friday, the first day of 2010, here comes a little shortwave, and that shortwave is going to be responsible for that low that's going to be a little further south, according to the GFS, in the Gulf of Mexico. But notice the 540 line is down in the vicinity of Montgomery and a little bit north of Mobile. So it looks like we might have some snow showers or some flurries, some light snow, patchy light snow on Friday, the first day of 2010. Second day of 2010, things dry out as the storm system moves off into the Atlantic. And then by Sunday, a week from today, we stay dry. But notice the 540 line down along the Gulf Coast, so it's going to stay dry but cold. And looking out into voodoo country, things are not going to change much for us. We stay very active. Here comes the 6th. Here comes another short wave, and that is responsible for, yes, another low in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, remember, this is voodoo, but if this happens the way this is showing, whoa, look at the snow for Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Whoa-wee. And then on the 11th of January 2010, another short wave coming through the flow. But things are a lot further south. We've got a surface high pressure. But notice the 540 line still down along the Gulf Coast. But the surface low basically looks like it may be forming in the southern Gulf. So the bottom line is, even though it's voodoo, it certainly is going to be active in the weather office as we head into 2010. Well, we appreciate you staying tuned to the Weather Extreme video. I'll be filling in for James this coming week. We're on a one-a-day schedule, so I expect to have the next one posted by about 8 o'clock on Monday morning. In the meantime, hope that you have a great day and Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.